Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 20 of Planescape. Many, many weeks ago, when we played this last, and people weren't sick or on vacation. People are still sick or on vacation. We had you guys go and essentially work your way through the back rooms of and the high roller tables of the Fortune's Wheel Casino in a bid to confront Shemeshka for all her bullshittery. And once she did, and she finally surrendered the fight with her two bodyguards trying to kill you the entire time, we had Kostra immediately draw sword and threaten, and Shemeshka disappear in a puff of smoke, never to be seen again. So, you find yourselves sitting on comfortable cushions as the conversation you were just about to have has been dashed against the rocks. Lucy, for her credit, gets so angry she disappears in a puff of steam and is gone.
Steam.
So, what would you like to do?
Damn, what the hell? Our coaster, both of them attacked, didn't they?
Coaster's
No,
kind of
just
like
Coaster.
out of breath,
Daramar was
out of
about
breath,
to, and
bleeding
decided
from
not to.
her nose onto her armor,
I don't know where she went.
and she sheaths her sword after looking around and noticing no one else but them in the quiet room.
Right.
Right. Let us find the answers we came to seek.
Well, we were
We're
trying to
disappointed.
find the answers.
Yeah, that was the answers.
And
She
somebody
hops,
had.
she hops off the couch. You think she didn't keep any records anywhere?
Costa really moving the story along. Okay, I'll have to
Completely
search with you.
No nonsense. She did the right thing, and she's going to stop this fiend. Whether you help her or not.
You think the
she
papers in her
begins
desk are going to tell us where she went?
Tearing apart ripping out drawers, dumping all the files and paperwork she finds, anything she finds in the drawers onto the tabletop.
Look, she ran with her little furry tail between her legs. She's not coming back. Good riddance to her.
You really think she was running? You really think she couldn't take us?
I could have killed her, but I didn't. She offered to talk, and she ran. We gave her the chance. She didn't take it. Good riddance. We can find our way home on our own.
Coaster pushes the elephant man off of the desk.
Falling to the floor with a resounding thump.
Do a strength check just for fun.
Where's your strength?
What is my strength?
Yeah.
Really fucking good. Just kidding. It's 17.
That's enough. That's fine. The bodies of the two creatures have already begun to steam and decay and wither away. Going back to one of them going back to its native plane of existence, the other one just being a gross psychic elephant monster.
Ikostra is investigating the desk.
So, you are. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check, please.
17.
Easy enough.
Oh, sorry. I'm on the wrong character.
Try that again.
Ah, shit.
Does the 17 not count?
No, you rolled with the wrong person.
Well, it
Right.
just says it's the wrong
Wrong
person. It still has Coaster's modifier.
Oh, okay, then you're fine. As long as it's Coaster's character sheet.
Not the wrong character sheet.
then
It was just the wrong label.
That's what I was wondering. Okay. So you're tearing through drawers and emptying everything, and as you kind of rip one of the bottom drawers off the hinges and toss it aside, it lands at the feet of Dresden. And as it does, it kind of slides across the room, the false bottom in that drawer pops open.
Boing.
Ooh, goodness.
Ooh,
I'm gonna
goodness.
pick it up and pull whatever's in there out.
Inside is a collection of papers, a dossier on each one of you.
Oh, well, I can't read, so I'm gonna hand it to Klystra.
Well, I
You can't read? That's okay, friend. I can.
Friend.
It appears to be dossiers on us. Does it say our names or does it say other names?
As you're flipping through them, you recognize the familiar names of the people in your party, but it doesn't mention your name specifically, and it doesn't mention Daramar's name specifically, and it doesn't mention Kava's name specifically.
Odd. The people in these dossiers fit our descriptions and our mannerisms, but do not mention us by name. Here's... is there... you said there's one for each of us.
There's
right?
so for the one that's most likely yours, there is a description of an individual who has silver dragon blood running through their veins.
Yeah.
Who grew up on a mountainside very close to yours.
Mine says somebody worked at a Taco Bell?
A Taco Bell.
What is this?
What kind of a
taco you
bell
speak
is a
of?
Taco Bell?
What's a
Perhaps
taco?
it's an enchanted bell.
A bell that's
It says he needs an inhaler?
Who is this taco person and why does he have a bell?
What? He has a pet mouse? What the? Who is this?
I'm
Is
gonna
it me?
come over and see if I can locate my own description in these papers, if I can, if they're willing to give me the.
Here's
We're
one
looking
that
through them
sounds
together.
like you, Daramar.
There's one
Shake hands.
that doesn't mention Daramar by name, but it does mention Dar.
But none of us
Oh.
remember. Wait, Kava remembers Dar.
Kava remembers Dar, and
I remember
you
Dar.
know that
Dar.
You know that Dar is your other name that you were called at one point.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
also
they
remember
they
Dar.
called me that when I first appeared.
I missed that, Dar.
Yeah, I also know.
So, could these be reflections of us in some weird reality in this place?
I don't know what you're talking about. Realities? Is there one for me?
Well, you watched Corathon change into Silver Fox, and Silver Fox turned into Kostra, so
Kostra, is there one
it's
for
not
me?
that far off.
Is there
for
one that
Dresden.
describes drow people?
There's one for Dresden. It does name Dresden.
This one mentions you by name, Dresden.
I'm gonna snatch out of Klistra's hands and take it over to Kava and ask Kava to read it to me.
It
Seems
says
that-
I could read that for you if you
it
desire.
says you're 7 foot tall, which
Whoa.
is clearly wrong.
I must be tall.
How tall is Dresden?
Yeah, how
This
tall?
Dresden's like 5'7".
Yeah, so it's clearly wrong.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The description of Dresden in this one is like 7 feet tall and ripped. With
Yeah.
and
He's got
he-
long hair.
You guys say that to Dresden, he just flexes and goes, "Oh well, sounds about right."
So
There's nothing in.
what I'm going to
Go ahead.
do right now is, as each of you have your dossiers and you're thumbing through it, we're going to go in order on the Discord call, and you're going to tell me what the dossier says, how you're connected with Shemeshka, and how your selves ended up here at the end, starting with Dresden.
So Dresden, of course, grew up in Menzo Baranzan, and was unfortunately a male in Menzo Baranzan, and beat and bullied and hurt by his 3 older sisters, almost constantly. And he did become a weapon master, and he was the weapon master for his house. However, he grew fed up with the treatment, and he ran for it one night in Menzo Baranzan. And he manages to get through the caves, and fighting for his life through many different difficulties and challenges, manages to reach the light. And he comes out into this light, and it's hurting his eyes, and he can barely find where he's going when he hears a cry for help. And as he goes and tries to, of course, help this person, he sees a fox who's very beat and bloodied. Later he would find out this was all an illusion and he was being tricked, but he agreed to help this fox person get home. and was later, like, after time spent with this fox person, convinced to make a deal with her in order to get back. And as he made the deal with her, he kind of poof and ended up in that crypt.
That's the last thing that you remember.
Yep.
As your Dresden currently is these members they're starting to click, but they're not quite there yet. These dossiers are how you interacted with Shemeshka specifically. These are not getting your members back yet.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I got mine on the fly.
These are all dossiers
Me
that
too.
are told
I'm running
with, from Shemeshka's perspective. So
Right.
wherever she comes into your story, that's where you want to start going from. Next up is Kostra.
So it's how Kostra knows, or how Shemeshka knows Kostra.
It's how Shemeshka knows
your root character.
Yeah, the root character in the dossier. Wherever her perspective starts, wherever she meets you, is where that dossier begins.
Kostra is reading the dossier that describes Shemeshka's strong desire to enter a cave guarded by an ancient silver dragon, and describes her plot to sabotage this dragon's efforts to guard the cave, which it holds back many evils from the world, and also conceals many forbidden treasures that she coveted. Using her wit, she aided a ancient white dragon that was held within the cave, held back by the silver dragon, helped the dragon defeat his foe, and then gain its freedom to wreak havoc upon the world. However, the consequence of this action of Shemeshka's was not only evils entering the world, but also setting upon her a hero who would seek revenge. This hero took the form of a sorcerer by the name of Korathon, whose dragon blood ignited once his ancestor had perished, and was set on a quest to avenge him and find out who he was, and what he was meant to do. Discovering his ancestor's betrayal and Shemeshka's plot in it, he vowed revenge and came after her. However, in his short-sightedness and foolishness, she was easily able to trick him and trap him in some way, and she put him down in the tunnels in the crypt after many tries of to subdue this son of the dragon blood.
Next up is Daramar. From Shemeshka's perspective, when does Dar rather show up?
He shows up as in his role as a messenger early on in his career, before he was more wary of the Fae. In his world, the Fae realm and the human realm have many overlapping areas where the veil is thinnest. Shemeshka poses as a Fae creature because she is fox-like to begin with and she can speak languages, in order to entrap Dar. Dar gets sent by a patron who pays him to pick up an intricate silver cage designed to contain a Fae bird, a creature of legend. And Shemeshka is his contact, who supposedly is going to give him this cage, so that the wizard he works for can entrap this bird. The bird is only rumored to exist, but the wizard believes it. Dar is wary of magic and of the Fae in general and doesn't like going on this mission, but he does because he's being paid well to do it. So he enters the area a creek and a wooded hill to meet with Shemeshka to exchange to pick up this cage, without realizing that it's all been a trap arranged by Shemeshka, and he is in fact the bird that's going to be caged. It's an interdimensional cage for the bird, which is rumored to live in multiple dimensions at once. And so Shemeshka entrances him and quite literally traps him with this magic cage in order to transport him back. But when she does leave his world for the Outlands, the multi-dimensional fragment splits Dar's character into 3 separate personas. And she realizes that the one she wanted, Dar, who has a great deal of potential according to her portents, is not the one that came through initially. There were actually multiple versions of him. So the one that he was supposed to be became memory, his memory was fragmented as well, and so she didn't get exactly what she wanted. And so he's had to live in the Outlands with only partial memory of who he is and what he is. And so Daramar and all the other characters you guys have encountered are the result of this fragmenting of multiple realities. So even now, Dar, realizing that this is how he came here, doesn't really understand if he's who he really is or if he is supposed to be someone else. Daramar is looking at this thinking that he's a reflection of what this reality is. So he's now questioning whether he, in fact, is real or is some weird aspect of reality. So he's quite dismayed.
Very nice.
Okay. And lastly, at least for the people that are here, we have Kaba, or Mark. When does Shemeshka's perspective of Mark McGirt start?
So it's a little bit, actually a lot different than all of you guys, but Shemeshka, it was by accident completely. She was about to kill a different version of one of us. I'm not sure which one. She didn't mention it in the papers, but after she killed them, she was so injured that she transported herself to a different place, and that place was Earth. And she found herself behind a dumpster of a Taco Bell, and she hears this boy mumbling to himself about the day that happened and how he was bullied by this guy named Chet Weston, and how if he was just a little bit stronger, maybe in the military, or maybe if he could just get away somewhere, he could stare at the stars and just be better, like his Dungeons and Dragons characters. And he's thinking through this. It's kind of illuminating a strong sense of will and power. And Shemeshka sees this and takes the opportunity to make a deal with Mark McGirt, this scrawny-looking white boy from Indiana who has no prospects and no purpose in life. So she feels that it's probably easy to manipulate and bid him a better life that he might think is better for him, but for her it'll be like a kind of like a minion situation. She'll use him and his deal as a hex blade. And so they strike a deal, and everything changed after that.
The one thing I'll add at the end of that is, as Mark began his service to Shemeshka, she quickly realized how useless he was as a servant.
Yeah.
And essentially killed him and tossed him away like trash. But through all of his musings and his excitement over gaining new powers, Shemeshka learned of his so-called D&D characters, whatever that means. How they
Right.
were strong warriors and accomplished spellcasters and all that fun stuff. And was surprised when people of that description started to show up at her door. Now, this is the part where everything kind of conglomerates together, because your stories all tie in one way or another to a multiversal glitch that has happened. Every time Shemeshka kills one of you, you come back and try again, until she tries to catch you within the Resplendent Cage, which is a magical enchantment that imprisons you and keeps you as a trinket for Shemeshka to do with as she pleases. You managed to catch all of you and use the Resplendent Cage on each one of you. But unlike with every other victim of hers, you all came back after the Resplendent Cage was used. Again, she thought it was the end, but what she found out very quickly was that whatever this multiversal glitch is that was resurrecting you also resurrected you this time, but in much diminished forms and in far different shape than what she had encountered in the past, dozens of times over. She killed you one more time and threw you in the mortuary, and hoped that that would be the end of it, which is where we started our adventure all these months ago, back in January. And when you came back again, but this time missing your memory, she saw an opportunity to be rid of you altogether, and sent you on a wild goose chase in the Outlands, hoping that you would take eternity to try and find Rome and never return. Or at the very least, if you did, she would have done enough research and gained enough power to finally end you and the multiversal glitch for good.
Garrett,
Hold on.
real quick.
Hold on.
Okay.
Her musings about why you keep coming back have to do with the missing, the last Great Modron March that went missing. She discovered their location within the realm of a mad beholder god, and knew that with them trapped there, endlessly walking in circles and being altered by that god's demiplane's magic and his personality as a crazy person, basically, that she could perhaps manipulate the forces of Mechanus if she were to let them out at the opportune moment, and profit immensely from the chaos that ensues throughout the multiverse.
Interesting.
How long in the game has it been since we first started in the
Several
mortuary?
months.
Oh yeah,
I don't know
probably.
the exact number, but it's been several months of time.
Okay.
At least it's been probably at least 4 months, if I had to guess.
I mean, it took weeks just for the walking castle to get places.
Yeah.
But that's cool because like we found her and we kind of figured it out in less than a year. That's pretty good. And she thought we would be gone forever. So
Yeah, she's like, the Outlands is a big place, plus all of the gate towns lead to other planes of existence, which are infinite, and it might kill you anyway. So she was essentially planning on you never coming back, but plotting just in case you did to have something ready. But you certainly came back faster than she expected, and in a more annoying way. Now, this description that Daramar reads of this cage object, there is a very similar design as you're looking about this room that exists in an alcove on the far right of the map here. If you were to look at that location, you would find that there is a silver cage mosaic on the ground containing the beneath its lattice work of razor vine bars, a mass of twisted and tormented faces.
Is this us?
It's not you, it's just random faces. But this is the area where the Resplendent Cage is used. And looking about the room, you notice that the walls are covered in little gemstones, each containing a tiny person.
Like frozen inside.
Essentially, yeah. You see
Hundreds of the
people
gemstones?
You see people in of all shapes and sizes in roguish gear, wizard robes, a butcher, a baker, the
A
baker's
candlestick
wife,
maker?
yeah,
Taco
candlestick
Bell
maker.
cashier.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of individuals that Shemeshka
Are there
has trapped here over the years.
Are there 3 men in a boat?
Yeah, sure. Yep. There's 3 men and they all appear to be sailors and they're all stacked next
Is
to
there a
each
cow jumping over the boat? Okay. So how many gems? Hundreds embedded
hundreds
in
and
the walls?
hundreds of gems.
So my God, this fiend, she's been doing this not just to us. There's hundreds of souls trapped in this room.
How do we free them?
Free? Yeah.
But
So
I'm-
wait, the cage. The cage isn't in this alcove, is it?
It is.
Or it is? Okay.
The alcove is the cage.
I don't remember this room, and I don't remember this. I've never been in here before.
Can I pry the nearest gem off the wall?
Sure. 1 second here. There, I don't remember if you have to search for your own specifically or not.
I just want to pick one. Whoever it is, I don't care.
Yeah, but I need to see if there's a. I need to see if I want you to roll to just randomly pick up your own.
Oh.
Let's see.
Well, I wouldn't. Deramar wouldn't think that he's trapped in a gem in the wall here. He's him. He's going to believe he's him. At least
Well,
that belief is being rocked.
That's
right
what I was explaining. Is that your dossier has this
Excuse me.
individual that fits your description. Dar is somewhere in this room. All of you have yourselves trapped somewhere in this room. I think I looked
What are our true selves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She captured us, but then she didn't account for the glitch, so we materialized as who we are right now?
Yeah, exactly.
This isn't right. I'm not this other person. I'm me. I have some memory of who I am.
They forgot.
I know who I am. How can this be?
Took a DNA test, found out. Percent Himalayan.
I'm 100% that bitch.
So I just wanted to pry a gemstone off the wall and try and interact with the gemstone and the cage to see if I can free whoever's inside.
Okay, pick a number between 1 and 100.
Die roll.
Die roll.
59.
59.
You're rolling 59. I'm going to try and match you. 96. You pick up the gem of what looks to be this like withered old man in cleric's robes.
Some kind of
Don't worry.
priest.
She whispers to the gem.
He's wearing the symbol of a god you don't recognize.
I want to take the gem over to the cage. And see if there's a way I can interface the gem with the cage.
Okay.
Or just
Roll
toss
an
it on the
Arcana
ground.
check.
Is there if there's a slot or something?
Lever
Roll
or
an
a
Arcana
button,
check.
some kind of toggle switch or a...
Or
You do not know how to work this cage.
I'm just kind of holding it up to the cage and saying prayers.
Yeah, that may not be the way.
Yeah.
Who knows how these things work? Because
How long do you do that?
For a while, I think
What is
she
a while?
she could I don't know,
Specific
maybe-
measure of time.
Oh,
as
5
long
minutes?
as it takes for someone to like stop her or something. I don't know, unless someone has a better idea.
Well, where
She's gonna
is
keep
she?
doing
Are
that.
you just holding the gem and talking, or is the gem in the cage?
I'm assuming you're holding it in the alcove because you said you were kind of
Yeah.
plucked one off the wall and went in there.
So you're in the cage.
Am I in the cage?
Do you?
I
wanna
don't
be?
think that's a good idea.
No.
It's up to you. Wherever you are is determined by whatever you want. So I don't know.
Throw the gem in the cage and see if anything happens.
Can I put the gem like on the twisted like faces or something?
Sure. Place it down on the ground.
Okay, I'd do that. And then she clasps her hands in prayer and says a word to Bakhmut to bring this, free this poor soul in the gem. To no avail, I suppose.
My question is, are you staying in the cage while you do this, or are you stepping back?
I'm kind of stepping back.
Okay. And is your prayer longer than 60 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay.
It probably would be.
So, you watch as Kostra places this gemstone down, and for an agonizing 60 seconds, you wait and watch. And right in the middle of her prayer, because it probably takes longer than 60 seconds to do whatever you're doing, the gemstone interrupts you by shattering, and there's a flash of light, and sitting on the floor is the same withered man you saw from inside the gem.
Bakhmut be
Aw.
praised.
Does
His
he look hurt?
miracles be done. You are free, old man, and she helps the old man to his feet.
He stands up and says, "Thank you, warrior of light. Now I can finally get back to my ideals." And his eyes glow red, he grows horns and red skin and disappears in a cloud of fire.
Well,
That was happy. Or that was a.
I'll
was it?
slay him later.
Well, he disappeared.
Okay, let's go find us. The descriptions.
Let's
that
find
it
a
shows in
nice person
our papers.
to put in the cage.
An enemy of Shemeshka is a friend of ours.
We don't-
Perhaps.
we don't know who these people are. Are they failed? Are they people who failed her that she's imprisoned? That she brought to do her deeds? Are we the only ones that survived her? We chased her out of this room.
Kostra reaches for the next closest gem on the wall.
No.
Are we
Find
going to keep
one
doing
that
this?
matches
He's gonna
us.
keep
Until we're killed
freeing
for it.
people.
No. If you're searching for yourself specifically, that's different than just plucking random shit off the wall.
She wants to save all these
I'm
poor
gonna look
souls.
for myself.
No, I
too.
think,
Scotty,
I
what
wouldn't
you
look for
like?
myself, though. I wouldn't even consider that myself would be in there. I know we've been fragmented, but Daramar is Daramar. He believes he is what he is. So
I want to
He's
pick
up.
up. I want to pick up a gem off the wall and show it to Dresden and say, "Does he look like he would have a peanut allergy?"
Roll a d100. Man.
what's a peanut?
3. Great. 42. You pick up. You pick up what looks to be a portly man in a bloodstained
what?
apron carrying a butcher's knife.
Oh, whatever a peanut is, he's definitely allergic. What about this guy? And I'm gonna pluck one off the wall. Hoping it's me.
If you're not searching specifically for yourself, you're gonna pick random people. You pluck one of the gems off the wall and see that it is a little tiefling girl in a flowery dress. She looks to be about 8 or 9 years old, probably.
Well, this one can't be bad. And I'm gonna go over and hold it in the cage and like put it in the cage and back up.
Okay. After about a minute, the gemstone shatters, and there is a frightened little girl clutching an owlbear, a stuffed owlbear doll, in front of you.
I'm gonna back up and just like point to Kostra.
Kostra was saying her prayers the entire time because she's convinced that the prayers are what's doing this and not the cage.
I'd be like, Kostra, this looks like you're something you should deal with, and like kind of like points to the child.
She kneels down. This woman in armor covered in blood still. She says, "Come here, my child. You're safe now."
The little girl leans in and says, "Can you help me find my mommy?"
We shall find her together.
She kind of holds
Now
her
come.
arms out to be held up.
New campaign.
She picks up the child.
Great.
You know,
Cost of daycare. Now we're at
I'm
daycare.
gonna go over to Daramar and be like,
Does
look,
a 19 hit you?
What?
Does a 19 hit you?
No.
The little girl reels back as fangs grow from the top of her mouth, and she tries to bite into you, but doesn't manage to catch purchase before you chuck her off. And you see that like when she lands on all fours and hisses at you, and then like crawls up the wall and turns into mist and floats away.
Was she
Alright.
The holy hell was that?
evil things locked away? Maybe we shouldn't.
No
Are
more
we
gems.
evil?
Are
We're
we?
throwing gems.
I'm gonna. Well, okay. These dossiers are clearly people we know, right? Because I've seen the pictures. That one looked like Dar. I knew Dar. That was a long time ago, but we were in that crypt. I'm gonna go look for Dar. And I'm gonna search for Dar's gem.
You wanna be,
22.
If you're looking specifically, I need you to make an investigation check.
Oh, investigation. Okay.
Just random.
Investigation. What is this? Oh,
3. All right, it's gonna take you a while. We'll go
Okay.
back to you.
I want to go look for a scrawny white boy.
Okay, make an investigation check.
wearing jeans and tennis shoes.
Yeah.
and then AK-47.
Strangely dressed individuals.
Toaster's gonna put one more gem in the thing.
The one you
Still
plucked
random?
earlier, or a different one?
What one was
easily
the one I
find
plucked
it.
earlier?
Hold on. What did you say, Daniel?
I don't. Did you tell me what was inside the one I plucked earlier?
Yeah, there was a fat butcher with a bloody apron and a knife.
Maybe she puts that one back. Maybe you later.
Can't hear that.
And she wants to pick another one.
Okay, roll a d100.
Okay.
Kava, you find the description of this skinny
You
ass
can't hear?
kid.
Hold up. Hannah can't hear right now.
Wait, I can hear.
Just turn your volume down.
You find the thing you're looking for, essentially, is what I said.
You turn my volume
Oh,
down.
you
So
found
there's
it.
dossiers on each of the people trapped in the
You found
gems.
yours, Hannah.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
that's
can
what
just
the rest of the files are in that drawer. Yours were of particular interest to her, so she had it in the false bottom, but you'll notice that there are a number of files that have to do with various individuals. And
Right.
if you were to go over and look at them, then that would be maybe information you could glean from them.
Well,
On a
where are
64
these?
hold on. On a 64 coaster, you pluck one off the wall, and you see a drow individual cloaked in kind of like this dark cowl that has silver filigree all over it, holding at the ready 2 knives.
2 knives.
Yeah.
She puts him in the cage.
Oh, Coaster up.
Great.
It looks scary.
Coaster, stop.
And then she says her prayers.
In the middle of your prayers, in a different spot this time, but in the middle of your prayers, the gem shatters, and you are looking at a drow assassin poised to strike. He comes to in the middle of all this, these random people, and taking in the situation, and completely panicking because the last thing he remembers is being shoved in the cage. He quickly begins to sprint out of the room.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Bye. Godspeed. I'm gonna.
See you later.
Like a nice fella.
The dossiers.
Yeah.
These are. I'm looking at the dossiers, which are, I guess, short descriptions of everybody that she's entrapped. Looking for. I'm going to try and find a pattern. Are they her agents, or are they victims like we are of her manipulation of the multiverse?
As
Probably
you're kind of
maybe-
thumbing through them, there are several common through lines. Many of them are not nice individuals. First of all, they
Right.
are people
Yeah.
that would be inclined to make deals with devils. And on top of that, people that might also believe themselves good enough to double cross the devil. So a lot of these people are Shemeshka's victims, yes, but most of them are Shemeshka's enemies that she's keeping as a collection.
Like I said,
There are not
I
many,
think Dar's gonna.
there are not many good people here.
Yeah. I think Daramar is going to. He's going to start searching the gemstones for anybody that he recognizes from his world.
Okay. We'll come back to you as well. Dresden, it is about at this time, after another few minutes have passed of people looking around and finding things, that you do see your shave-headed friend from before trapped in amber on like the second or third row up.
I'm gonna like climb up and grab it, turn to their mark, and be like, and like chuckle to myself. Like, this will throw him for a loop and kind of like toss it to him.
What is it?
It's you, buddy. You, but
Inside the
the more
gemstone,
you.
you see an individual that looks exactly like yourself in face, but with a completely shaved head and in the robe of the red caps, the guise of a red cap that you had that you know previously from your world.
Right.
Although this one seems off, whereas the others in the gems have been still almost like doll-like or statuesque. This version of you that you're seeing before you flickers and changes every now and then. Between the you in a red cap outfit and the you as Master of Blades of the wizard that you served in the dossier.
the wizard.
Wait, did mine do the same thing?
You haven't found.
When you find Mark McGirt, you find him as the skinny white kid, yes. But one of the reasons why you didn't spot him initially is because before that he was a mid-20s blue tiefling girl in a nice little flowery dress carrying a satchel. And as you kind of are watching the flickering happen, you watch him shift between those two forms, between a scared, scrawny little kid and this blue tiefling girl.
Oh, what are you gonna do, Dar?
I don't know who this girl
There,
is.
Mark.
Though.
What are you gonna do with yourself?
This looks like me, but it can't be me, can it?
Well, why don't you go put it in the cage and find out?
Yeah. I mean,
Isn't his
he'll just
relishing
run
the fact
away
that
anyway.
like
Unless it's
Daramar's in
real.
this existential crisis?
I could walk out of here right now, but I'd never be back to the world I know.
Well, maybe your gem is a part of it.
Maybe you guys can be best friends.
Besties.
But what's worse that can happen? Everybody that we freed
I could die.
left.
I could disappear forever.
No.
What do you mean?
You'll be fine.
They'll just be right next to us. Just like the others. Helping us fight.
This could be another trick of hers.
Yeah, well, we fought for all the other ones. Why not this one too?
You could make an insight check if you'd like.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, he needs some wisdom right now. Insight.
Nice.
Outstanding.
Bro is
on a 20,
insightful.
when you're as you're kind of internally panicking, thinking about this, the minute you say like out loud like this could be another trick of hers, the other thought pops into your head that says, why would she need to trick anybody if these are her own files in her own desk behind a locked portal at the back of an alternate dimension?
I think she keeps these gems here, these creatures inside, prisoners. Either they failed her, or they are going to be activated at some point by her to carry out her plan to rule this place. I think the only way we're all ever going to get out of here is to defy this cage that we're in, this thing I'm holding. I think this is a prison. And I think I'm going to be in prison in these outlands forever unless I do something to free myself. I don't know who this person is in this gem, but something tells me it's me. And one thing I can't abide is being an unwilling servant of a creature that seeks to destroy my world. So
Leaving yourself behind.
I'm going to free myself. If it means my death, then so be it. But I'm not going to live another minute under these circumstances. And I'm going to
Not a
step into the cage.
dog. And then Coaster pats you on the back.
Now my question for you is, are you staying in the cage with the gem, or are you backing up when you place the gem down?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell them all, if I don't come back, it has been an honor. And I'm gonna stay in the cage with the gem.
I give him a salute.
Coaster puts a fist to her chest and then bows.
I salute him.
Hilarious. Here we go.
It's been
So-
fun there.
After 1 minute, two things happen. There is a massive flash of light, and there is an individual standing in the Resplendent Cage after that light subsides. However, this individual is still holding a gem. Why don't you go ahead and describe Damien for us?
Oh!
No. Furball. Before you stands what at first glance is a drunken pirate. He wears a tricorn hat. He has what was once a really nice topcoat, which has over some period of time gained a lot of grime. But it did at one time have some lovely stitching and ornament on it. Everything about this guy used to be nice, but is now a little worse for wear. He is, at second glance, completely drunk. He stands about 6'1", 6'2". He has an athletic bearing to him. Even as he stands there, he appears to be very relaxed. On his hip, you notice a very familiar, exquisitely made rapier, as well as 2 pistols. He has a variety of small knives, also coins, baubles, and other bits of little items of small value threaded through his clothes, his hair. He has he wears 8 rings, 1 on each finger, of what might be valuable material and gems, but probably not. And he's holding and he notices you all, and he smiles at each of you in turn, and says to himself, "Now, how did that happen?"
Kostra smiles back and says, "Welcome back, Lord Dan Fagan."
No. You
Dan
have the wrong
Fagan.
guy. And I'm going to try and stumble out of the
Well, they're more.
alcove.
Fagan was
It is
No.
at this point that you realize that you are no longer holding a mug of ale, but instead a amber gemstone in your hand, containing a
Where's
small
my
person.
drink? Who are you people? Where am I?
Kava
There's
looks
all the rum.
confused and flips through
This is not the lusty
papers.
mermaid.
Flips through the papers to look back at the description of Dar again.
Excuse me. I need to sit down. If you
Looks
don't
at
mind.
the pictures. This isn't right.
This
Looking at the
is-
pictures, and certainly he has the same face and the same accoutrements, but is acting very strange. And the gem still in his possession indicates to you that another multiversal glitch has happened instead of the freeing of the soul.
Is anyone going to tell me what happened? You all seem like nice enough people.
Cage.
As we're all
We'll
covered
tell
in
you what
blood
happened.
and
Kostra
Oh, God.
uses lay on hands to take away his drunkenness.
I'm gonna kind of lean back away from the hands. Excuse me, good lady. Everything in time, my dear. Everything in time. Give me a moment, won't you?
If you must, but know that it has required sobriety in this dire situation.
And I look over to the
Well, you're going to
pirate
be very
guy,
disappointed in me then.
and I'm like, yeah, this happened to me before, right before we got into this room. She's such a killjoy.
You got drunk
she's a killjoy.
and walked
Yeah,
into the water
yeah.
closet to relieve yourself, and you appeared in another place? That happened
You
to
can
you
say
too?
that.
No, I think that was Korthon, right?
That definitely did happen to Korth, or rather, fucking.
Somebody's
Silverfox.
Silver Fox stumbled out of the bathroom last.
Excuse me. Who are all you people? Why are there 2 dead elephants behind me?
Well, they look
And-
like rotted piles of meat now at this point.
Why are there 2 rotted piles of meat behind me? Why are you all covered with blood? What is going on here?
We have been in a struggle against a horrible magical fiend that has trapped us in little gemstones, and now we've come to free ourselves. Yourself included. However, that gemstone in your hand, I think we might need it. Rather, you might need it.
Why would I need it? Is it valuable?
To you?
Yes.
Yes, if you put it in that cage.
I would
You
trade
should
it
go
right
walking
now.
back where you came from, buddy.
I would trade it right now for a mug of ale. Anyone?
Well, if you go in there, back where you just walked out of, you may get a mug of ale. Just make sure you keep that gem in your hand. That's how we pay for things around here.
That's the
If you
exit.
want back into the Lusty Mermaid, you just walk right into that cage right there, and you'll find yourself among all the debaucherous women and all the mugs of ale you could drink.
That sounds like a trap.
What do you mean?
Look, I don't know
We're
what's
nice
going on,
people.
but
Why would we trap you?
if you don't mind, I'm going to have a look
Perhaps
around.
the demonstration will be in order. Kava, throw a gem
Yeah,
in,
let's show
in the cage.
Well, Kava has her gem. Doesn't
This is my gym.
Kava has her own. You could
Why
throw
don't you
another
walk
one
in?
in. There's hundreds of gems here.
I'll throw just a random one in. Can I roll one?
Yeah,
Roll
roll
random?
one.
Look,
Well, I mean, you don't need to roll anymore because you found yours already.
Just
so I'll just
you,
random person.
tall lady.
I want to roll. I don't
With the
want to roll
armor.
my own yet.
I know.
Here's the gem.
The reason why
I'll
you
give
were
it to
rolling
you.
for the first place is because I was seeing if you picked one randomly if it was you. There's a 1 in
You give
100
me a
chance
gem?
that you picked your own gem. But we don't need to do that anymore because you found yours. So you pick one off the wall, and it appears to be like a sallow-faced zombie, but wearing heavy black-colored armor with a long red cape flowing behind him.
Okay, watch this, and I place it down
Okay.
and back up.
1 minute goes by, and the gem flashes, and after the light fades, the stench of rotting flesh begins, and you look upon a death knight that has been spawned into this cage.
She turns to Damien and says, "Quick, give me the gem."
Will it get rid of that thing?
It will.
Okay, here.
I'm gonna push him in after it.
She takes the gem and
He's
then
not
she goes over and throws it in the cage with the zombie guy.
Okay. The zombie guy, to his credit, steps out of the cage. He's very non-threatening at the moment. Regards each of you with these like cold, like milky white eyes. Puts on the helmet that was under his arm, that is shaped in roughly like a skull, and begins to stride out of the room after giving each of you a bow.
Weird.
He was actually quite chivalrous.
Noble.
That was
Yeah.
weird.
I liked that.
I didn't like that at all.
The Amber sits in the cage. We're waiting.
1 minute later. 1 minute later, the flash of light happens again, and Damien, you are suddenly standing face to face with yourself. Yourself, however, many years older than what you are right now, carrying with you the countenance of a master of blades, of the one of the various wizards of your world, and along with him, several extremely powerful badges of office. Before, briefly, another flash of light happens, and the two of you merge together.
Oh.
That's some probably.
As your
Yeah.
memories, as your memories come rushing back, your tiny home.
I'm 3 feet tall.
Yes, it takes a little while for the proportions to get right, but no, as your memories come rushing back to you, all of a sudden you get flashbacks of your time as a Red Cap and the events leading up to you being killed, revived, and set upon Shemeshka as the Master of Blades for one of the most famous wizards of your time. You remember now years and years of traveling between continents, over seas and land and mountain, to try and catch this fiend that had been unleashed upon your world before she could do lasting damage. And when you had finally caught up to her, when you finally thought that your years-long journey was over, she dispatched you like you were nothing, and trapped you within this resplendent cage after several more deaths. Then you start to remember. Then you hold on. Then you begin to remember the events of the past several months, awakening in the mortuary, traveling to throughout Sigil and the Outlands, going from town to town as the you your father wished you were, until finally culminating in your restoration at the hands of your still shattered party members here in Shemeshka's back rooms in the Resplendent Cage.
Well, this makes more sense.
Star. It's good to see you, my friend. And I give him my I don't know, like a handshake, but you shake their forearm.
Yeah, the medieval bro handshake.
Yeah. Does he respond to that?
He looks at each of you, and you get the sense that in that split second, he has seen just about everything that you think you can do, know you can do, might do. He has performed what you believe to be an almost extra-worldly assessment of you. It's an odd, off-putting feeling. His gaze, his attention, but he doesn't have any menace in his face. He simply regards you completely, and it might put you off just a little bit. Also, the thing that puts you off is that in spite of all of the recent events, he appears to be completely unsurprised. He simply stands and regards you, and you get the sense that this is someone that it is very difficult to surprise or take unawares. and he simply stands. He takes your arm, and he says to you, "Peace given, if peace offered." And he stands and he just stares at you. He said, and he says,
I
"I'm
almost
glad to
tear
be
up a
back
little
on my
bit.
own 2 feet."
I tear up a little. Kava tears up a little bit, only because like she's been here all this time and she thought he was dead. And like, it's so nice to know that her friend and her like ally didn't die, you know, without like because of her, because of like you know, a friend in battle didn't die.
He
Yeah.
he reads on your face those emotions and says to you, "Be at peace. The real me was not harmed."
Oh, good. I take a second. I step away.
Kostra.
I think.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say. Go ahead and say what you're going to say, because I had one more thing.
I was gonna say Kostra doesn't know this person, but she looks like she remembers something, and then she pulls out of her bag the dragon scale amulet, and she kind of looks up and says, "I must find something." And then she begins looking for Lucy's gemstone.
Oh, Lucy.
Can I where's the message, the DM little screen thing? Where's that?
If you go to at the bottom of the chat box, it says "as."
Yeah.
I think there's a whisper.
Yeah, it's like /GMW or something like that. It's if you
hold on.
scroll up a little bit, it says it. It says
It's not in there.
it says to whisper. So /W space GM and then type what you want.
Like that?
Yeah. If you scroll up in the chat past all our roles for the day, there's a section that says "chat tips," and it'll tell you the command.
Oh, there it is.
Whisper to myself.
Whisper player on character. Okay, let me
Yes, correct. And you can. It works like City of Heroes. So if you hit up on the arrow key, you'll go back to the previous message.
Oh, I see. Okay.
All right. While he's doing that, Kostra, go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Yep. She's not very good at this.
Oh.
Yeah, on a 5, you don't know if it's because you're just bad at looking for it, among needle in a haystack kind of thing, or if it's because whenever Lucy's gemstone shifts between her different personas, you're not recognizing them, but you are unable to find anything that looks like Lucy.
Can I look for myself again?
No.
Yes. Well, yeah. I don't think we had you roll for yourself yet. You were just picking random shit.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll an
Darn.
investigation check for yourself.
Oh baby, let's go.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, almost immediately, now that you kind of know what you're looking for, you look up, and eye level with you the whole time you've been standing in that corner. Is this vision, this gem with a character in it that has your face, but he's tall and ripped, and
He's a big
has
boy.
a magnificent mane of hair. Very physically different, but you know that it's you.
Oh, and he plucks it out of the wall and goes, huh? Kind of like tosses it in his hand like you would a baseball, but like clearly it's a very stupid thing to do, but he kind of does that as he walks over and goes, well, I guess it's my turn. It's been fun knowing you guys, and I'm gonna step into the cage with the gem in my hand.
Okay.
Stop.
Are you staying in the cage, or are you?
Yeah, I'm
Stop.
gonna stay in the cage.
Exit the cage.
Why?
Exit the cage, or you will be unmade by the magic of Shemeshka.
Oh shit! Listen to him.
Well, it's been fun.
Okay.
If you want to
No,
restore your true self, you need to exit the cage. Put the gem inside and wait.
He's just gonna sigh, like drop the gem, like kind of toss the gem over his shoulder and step out.
Okay. As you do, midair, as 60 seconds comes to an end, the gem flashes, and you are suddenly hit with the weight of all of your past selves, including the memories that they contain. And before you, the one the two of you now would recognize
It's a tiny little... Oh,
is the completed version of Dresden. In your split second as you arrive in this room, before you regard your companions, you remember the truth of your circumstances. You had met Shemeshka after having just gained your freedom and took pity on her. Something made you take pity on her. You couldn't quite place it at the time. You were still scared, but you wanted to help so badly. And upon reaching a hand to help this creature, the charm she had over you took effect, and she dragged you down back into the earth, where she turned you in to your matron mother for deserting Lolth and deserting the Drow people.
ooh.
But you were not killed. You were given a remarkable mercy for someone whose actions would normally cause him to become a monster, completely and utterly beholden to the Spider Queen. Instead, you were sold to Shemeshka and entered into her service. When she grew tired of you, however, is when she finally dispatched of you. But then,
You guys see-
of course, sorry, I'm doing this off the cuff because I don't have my notes on. But then, of course, you came back and vowed revenge. And you had your taste of freedom. The charm that held your mind now ended, and you sought Shemeshka with a vengeance and a rage like none other. However, even this rage was not enough to prevent her from dispatching you time and time again, until finally she grew bored of fighting you and decided instead to trap you. It is when this happened that you fractured yourself, and with one final death and one unceremonious tossing to the bowels of the mortuary, your quest began. And even though you died in the bowels of that mortuary, still, you came back, but as a fractured version of yourself. A different version, an alternate timeline, where you were weaker than you once were. Your mind especially was weaker than it once was. Less determined, more fractured, more crazed and chaotic. And through all these adventures and regaining yourself, you remember each of your companions. You remember the face of Dar, you remember Kava, and you remember Korathon, who is now Kostra. And regard them as you come back to your senses once more.
Can I?
But before you do that, real quick, as you guys look at Dresden kind of stepping up immensely taller and bigger, you see, you can kind of see this wave of emotions kind of flood across his face and through his eyes, and you see pain and fear, and it just kind of turns into this unbridled rage as he kind of starts to hyperventilate a little bit, and his voice starts to come into these angry, raspy growls, and he just kind of goes, "Where's that bitch?" as he brandishes his axe, only to end up locking eyes with Kava for a second, and then locking eyes with Dar for a second, as he kind of not settles down but gains control of himself, and just is and just, you kind of just you can see how angry and how hurt he is by everything, and he's like, "We have someone to kill.
Barbo rage.
Yep.
I punch him in the shoulder and say, "Hey, remember that incinerator incident we had?"
And he like holds up his axe and points it at Dar and goes, "Still haven't forgiven you for that." And then drops his hand.
I forgot what Darian did.
Thanks for
I
saving.
remember the black slime was chasing us and
Yeah.
he locked us in the incinerator with it. As I was dragging Kava's
Almost
unconscious,
incinerated us.
unconscious
Oh, that's
body.
right.
Yeah,
Good times.
iconic.
Dar masterpiece nuts.
What?
There's Dar. If you want
There
to
he
take a
is.
peek at him.
Wait, let me see. Iconic.
That's him now.
I don't. Garrett has my picture.
It'll be the new icon as soon as I can get it to Garrett.
Well, I can download the one you put here and I'll make a token for it.
Well, when you mentioned he was much older, I thought let's in his new responsibilities for as long as he's had them, he wouldn't look the same. And as far
that
as
makes sense.
what's your character, Grant? I forgot who it is.
Dresden. They're all Dresden.
Oh, they're all Dresden.
Yeah.
I'll simply look him squarely in the eye and very calmly say, "That I don't remember, but I'll offer you an apology nonetheless."
And Dresden just gives out like a hearty chuckle and kind of like steps up and claps him on the shoulder and is like, "Oh, he clearly remembers how it was."
These fragments of ourselves have affected not only our own worlds, but this one as well. I can only tell you that the decisions made by those aspects of myself would not necessarily have been made by me in the same
Oh,
situation.
it was you.
So
No, it
was
wasn't.
you. Yes, it
Yeah,
was.
it was definitely Dar.
So was.
It was, well, it was a
A
different
younger
me.
version of you.
It was a
You-
me that lacked the wisdom of years.
In levels.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn to Coaster and just be like, "Who the hell are you?"
Who are you?
My name is Kostra. I am a paladin of the Dragon Lord Bakhmut.
And as he looks at Coaster, he kind of can vaguely see a resemblance to Silver Fox was the first one, right?
No, Korthon.
Oh,
No.
Korthon. It was Korthon. He can see a vague resemblance to Korthon, just kind of goes, "Huh," and then lets it go.
A lot of redheads around here.
One. Let's see. Who else needs to?
Kostra,
Coaster.
Have we
go
all?
next.
I'm looking for. Kostra says, "Please, my friends, I need help looking for Lucy's gem. I worry for her fate in all of this, since she has disappeared. We cannot leave her behind."
Oh. I'll help
As she
look.
continues searching the walls, endless walls of gemstones for Lucy's gem.
Get you taken care of first.
I want to go.
No, she helps others before she helps herself.
Only because like
Wow.
Kava's been like the OG.
I just
and,
only because
seeing
like Kava's been like the
everybody will always
OG
get a
and like
reaction
seeing
out of her.
everybody
And I feel
will always
like
get a reaction out of her.
that's why
Like I feel like
stay
that's
for
why I
a
want to
little
stay
Okay,
for a little bit
hold on
longer.
real quickly here. So, one of you two needs to go and push to talk because there's a dramatic echo.
It's worse when Hannah talks
Yes.
than when Grant talks. Like, it doesn't pick up on Hannah's mic, but when Hannah talks, it picks up on Grant's mic.
That's because I have a better mic.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, so Kostra rolled a 14 investigation this time.
Okay.
To look for Lucy's gem.
To look for Lucy's.
Yeah.
No, unfortunately, you're still unable to find Lucy's gem.
Openly in this way, you can become Hryol again. So he's had a little bit of ale as well, apparently.
Hannah talked.
Is anyone gonna help Kostra look?
Yeah, I'll help.
Can you guys hear Hannah?
Yes, a little bit.
I heard her.
You gotta look over here.
Why are you tiny again? What the fuck happened?
Help?
You got me.
Okay, what do I do? What do I do? Investigation?
Yes, investigation. If someone is helping you, you have advantage.
If you give me a description, I'll help.
All right, I'll roll again with advantage.
You roll again with advantage.
Double tens? No. Six.
Oh God. With advantage. Maybe
Maybe the level
your friend.
17s could help out.
I still have 0 intelligence.
I am
still
helping.
have
Oh my
0
God.
intelligence.
You got to describe her though for me.
You remember her?
Who am I searching for? I don't
Isn't
know
the
this
whole
person.
point like your
Oh
your
my-
memories? Everyone.
I'm sorry.
It's like, they-
Yeah, your memory's back.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but I don't know
you
who
remember?
Lucy is.
You remember Lucy?
Well,
No.
to
Do
be
I?
fair, Lucy was not there in the beginning. So I don't even know Lucy either.
Alright, so I'm sorry, I have to interrupt here. because
Well, I
this is
gotta
fucking
ask
hilarious.
then.
Hold
I gotta ask if I do remember.
hold on. This is hilarious, and I'm gonna post this in chat. So I'm in the middle of making Dar's new token, and I did a generative fill for just the background, but it made Dar extremely ripped, and I need you all to see this in Discord.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
Look at how fucking ripped he is, dude. That's insane.
It
It's like
took
an element.
his like the puffy jacket and just thought they were fucking just hella traps, dude.
Is this AI or something?
It's Photoshop. So Photoshop has a feature where it uses AI to generate stuff.
Oh.
And what I did, because your picture of him was too skinny for the token, I selected the area around it that was not filled, and I told it to fill in the background. But what it did was also fill in your incredibly muscular body, apparently.
I went for this photo because of the intensity of his face, not the bloody fur, whatever he's wearing.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm gonna that's not gonna be in the final thing. I'm gonna
Okay.
crop that out. Everything. I'm gonna just get a headshot, but I just thought it was funny that like outside of that headshot, you know that he's ripped as fuck.
He's pretty ripped, but he's not but bodybuilder ripped.
Yeah. He's not a barbarian.
No.
He's
No,
not
he's-
Dresden ripped.
Yeah, no, he's not.
He's
good.
the
That's
kind
what
of,
Dresden's body looks like under all that.
He has a sort of athletic lethality to him. That aspect of him, anyway. And the tattoos on his face, there's a story for that as well. So he's the same guy, but he's seen shit. That's kind of the idea here. Oh, one other thing about him. You don't, when he appeared, he didn't appear with the rapier you're so used to seeing him with. So he has a different weapon at his side, by the way. But if you describe, well, do I remember Lucy? Maybe I do. I don't know.
You have all the memories of all of yourselves.
Okay, so I'll help then. Do I get to roll?
Yeah, sure.
What am I
You're
rolling for?
rolling, if people are helping you, so roll at advantage. You're rolling investigation with advantage. You're looking
Okay.
for 15 or higher.
Oh,
Damn.
haven't found her yet.
Nope, still looking.
We're all just helping.
In the meantime, I will send you. I'm gonna put the token in chat here so you can have it.
Also, that's Arctis's art, in case.
Okay, we'll get there. There's Dar's token, so if you want to copy that onto your character sheet, it's also okay.
Okay.
Wait, who's that, Daniel?
Copy. What am I?
My level
Copy
17 character, Arctis Cloudwings.
Copy image.
You'll find out when we get to it.
Perfect, great. Okay, we're
I
back.
guess so.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Still, no one has still rolled an investigation check over 15 to find Lucy.
I rolled one, but I didn't get the high enough. I didn't
yes,
get high
yes.
enough.
I got
Um,
14 again.
Yeah. So what I will say is, in the course of looking for Lucy, Kostra, you do find your own. You see the the odd juxtaposition of the fresh-faced young sorcerer that flickers into a much older, gruffer, less put together version of himself. Someone you wouldn't want to meet at a bar, and someone who should never enter a bar, as far as you're concerned.
Yeah, she feels a certain pull to these people in the sapphire gem, and she walks over to the cage and she says, "I think my time has come, my friends. Fare thee well, and remember, do not drink and drive a carriage."
All right, see you later.
Everyone's like still looking for Lucy, like, yeah, whatever, bye.
I was like, oh yeah, sure, yeah.
And then she places the gem in the cage and then steps back. Fantastic. And then says one last prayer to Bakhmut.
Alrighty. So, as the gem shatters and the flash of light fills the room, Kostra, you are yourself and your previous, more complete self, all at once. Your memories flood back of that fateful day when you saw the shadow of the white dragon descend upon your village. When you saw your ancestor slain in his cave, in his lair at the top of a mountain, when you arrived there to ask for his aid. The entirety of your town encased in ice below you. You see yourself swearing vengeance upon the individuals that did this, slaying the white dragon heroically, only to discover that he was not your true enemy, that there was still a mastermind behind the travesty of your life. You see yourself going on many adventures throughout and within the material plane and others, gaining the strength that you would need to face a being of such Machiavellian design, only to be struck down by Shemeshka when you finally caught up to her. Many times, in fact, you tried, and many times, even with the countenance of a dragon, you fell, until at last she grew tired of your constant attempts on her life and trapped you within the Resplendent Cage. And then you receive the new memories, one by one, waking up in the mortuary, traveling with your companions, meeting Shemeshka, though you did not know that you knew her then, entering the castle and falling at the hands of a massive demon. Heroically or foolishly, depending on your perspective, charging into a nest of dragons and meeting your end. Heroically charging into battle to save those who could not save themselves, as Kostra. All your memories come flooding back. Your person changes. You are wiser, you are older, and you are far more powerful than you once were.
He's really tiny.
You are a halfling.
I am Arctis Cloudwings, Dragon Lord of the Resian Mountains.
With this realization of yourself, you step forth from the Resplendent Cage and regard your companions in their full selves, except for one.
Hello, my old friends. It is truly good to see you again.
You drunken bastard, and he goes up and gives them a
What?
hug.
I can't hear Grant.
Yeah, he's way in the background.
Drunken bastard, and goes up and gives them a hug.
Could you speak up, lad?
Get far away in the cross
Get
the
in the
room.
back.
Great.
You drunken bastard, and goes up and gives him a hug.
He embraces him just as warmly.
I cheer up again and give him a nuggie. I missed
A
you.
nuggie.
A nuggie? You got some McDonald's in there?
No,
We're smoking weed now, aren't we?
I rub his head.
He embraces Kava as well. It's good to see you're the one that survived. I always knew you had it in you.
I start sobbing.
And he goes up to Dresden and he's like, "Get you, you're taller than me, lad." And he kind of like sizes himself up to Dresden and he's like, "I still bet I could beat you in arm wrestling."
I'd love to see you try, Pipsqueak.
Maybe one day, lad. You'll get your chance,
Maybe one day.
he says with a twinkle in his eye.
We still have one foxy bitch to deal with.
The twinkle in his eye appears to change it to a dragony slit for a brief second, but it goes away.
Justin kind of like jumps for a second. It's like, oh.
He turns to everyone else and he says, "I think we have still one more we're looking for, are we not?"
As you say.
You know it.
I'm gonna use my new character sheet with a whopping +0 bonus to investigation
That's what we're doing, baby.
to look for Lucy's.
Natural 20.
No problem.
All right.
Finally.
Almost
Hey,
by
the corner.
intuition, you walk over to the corner of the room and pluck the first gem you see and look at it and goes, "Hey, I found her." And you see flickering between 3 people this time, since Lucy has glitched out of this room. You see the Lucy you know, the slightly psychotic, colorful bard, viola brandished, flicker into a more somber-looking woman, still very familiar, but blinded clearly, and kneeling, wearing kind of flowing multicolored robes, and holding in her hands a crystal ball. And then flickering again to yet another version of this character. This time in still flowing clothing, but more body fitting. Wraps on her hands, poised for battle, hair tied up tight so as to stay out of her face. A look of anger and anguish on her face.
He takes the gem in his hands carefully, and he places it in the cage.
After 1 minute, the familiar flashing light fills the chamber. But when it fades, you see no individual standing before you.
You killed her.
No, I don't think so. I think she wasn't here to begin with. Perhaps she is manifested somewhere else. Kelsey's still not feeling up to playing.
Whenever she can come back is whenever Lucy can come back and join you. But until then, she's not here.
Right. All that's left is you now, Kava.
It's been a pleasure, all of you. Can I all give him a little like dap?
Group hug.
Dap everybody up. Group dap, we all like interlock hands in like a circle.
Group dap.
we all put our hands together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go team! Okay. I hold my gem, and I place it down in the cage and step off, um, and look up like I've done my duty, like a warrior should.
You don't know where you're going, Kava, but in any case, the gem shatters, the white light fills the room, and Kava's memories, having never existed at all, reconcile themselves with the memories of your true self. The scrawny, not so impressive teenage form of Mark McGirt, huddled in a fetal position on the floor of the Resplendent Cage.
No, he
Our
sneezed
noses
right
are
as
filled.
he poofed. He sneezed.
Okay.
Our noses are filled with the smell of.
Did he poop in the cage?
It smells like
No,
it smells like BO and Doritos. And
I'm gonna pick him up by the
Smells like-
shoulders and like put him on his like this
It
cute
smells like-
looking
it
barbarian.
smells like chocolate
there-
Axe body spray.
Yeah, it's like
Is there-
I just like
Is there
I
a,
just pick him up by his shoulders, put him on his feet, and like lift one little lanky arm and go, Kava, what happened to you? As I like let go of his arm and it like flops to his side.
is there a never been kissed vibe about this guy?
I don't think he's ever been touched by another human being. Not even as a hug from his parents.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
his
I think
parents
the only
didn't
time that he's ever had hands laid upon him was as he was being bullied by Chet Weston.
It was Chad's the only
Yeah.
person that
Yeah.
touched
The
him.
Various-
homoeroticism.
Can
The various
I- can
swirlies
I-
and wedgies.
Can I read what I wrote about him?
You certainly can.
So this is also heavily influenced by Garrett because he helped a lot. Because I had no idea how I was going to tie all of them together. But basically, when you see right as the smoke clears, you hear a sneeze, and then you see this awkward boy about like 16, 17 years old. He's skinny, he's got dark blue eyes, he has awkwardly frizzy brown hair that flows just above his chin. He's got a lanky physique with bad posture. He's got a crooked big toe. And little facts about him: he failed gym twice. He pays for Crunchyroll, and he doesn't have Spotify Premium. He only eats the edges of Pop-Tarts, and he has ingrown hair in his mole that he has on his neck.
He only eats the edges of Pop Tarts.
He only eats the edges of Pop
He's
Tarts.
allergic to the filling.
Everything about him is just inconvenient. He has asthma. He prefers Lunchables. He gets bloody noses every once in a while. He's also been rejected from being a theater kid. He plays D&D alone. And
He plays D&D
he
alone.
can speak Yeti, but that's only because he has a good Chewbacca impression. He worked part-time at a bowling alley, but he got fired because he accidentally dropped a bowling ball on a customer's foot.
He was the pins.
He likes to roller skate for exercise, and he gained a pet mouse named Megatron. No one taught him how to ride a bike. He's really great at swimming, but he lives in Indiana, so he can't really swim. He was also grounded for bringing his Switchblade collection to school, which leads us into his kind of backstory. He is from Indiana. He's an only child with two parents and no friends other than his pet mouse. In his free time, he plays D&D alone. Blah blah. Where he created the coolest characters he could think of: a dragonborn and a druid. He would often escape the wrath of his school bully Chet Weston, who made fun of him for being nerdy and awkward, by fantasizing about otherworldly beings and being the hero he's always wanted to be. The dragonborn Kava became his strength, as she was the fiercest archer in command, being able to stay alive by keeping her distance. The druid Lyra was free spirit, always out to find adventure with a crew of thieves and pirates, she navigated through the circle of stars and inspired by dragon-like constellations. And finally, his very dream was to become the greatest warlock the world has ever seen. Using the shadows as his ally, he is able to fight those who underestimate him and his nonchalant attitude. And then you obviously know his shift at Taco Bell went awry as he was throwing out his Baja Blast after his lunch break. But yeah, you see him sneeze, and he walks up, and he goes, "Hey."
There must have been some mistake. Put him back in.
No.
I'll help you.
Fracture him again.
It's me. Check this out. And he throws out his, switchblade.
Okay.
And he does a little trick with it.
Yes.
Our word's done.
He does a little trick with it.
It's done.
And then, he shows off his collection, just like he would at school.
I don't understand. Shemeshka wanted you?
You'd be surprised. I can cast a lot of spells. You'd be surprised, I promise. I
You
know
are
a
a
lot about
mage?
this.
You are a mage.
I'm a warlock.
A warlock. Who's your patron, lad?
Garrett, who's my patron?
Shemeshka.
Shemeshka is my patron.
Now, you're putting us in a weird situation. You see, you understand that we're trying to kill her, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I want. Because I need to get home. I need to get back to Earth. This was fun. It was all fun in D&D, but I gotta get home. I'm sure my parents are missing me. And they're really not. They actually haven't noticed he's gone.
They're having the best time.
Yeah.
They're having a great time on vacation
The
in
only thing
Cabo.
that they noticed about you missing is that they suddenly have more food to eat in the house.
Fuck.
Suddenly,
Yeah.
a surplus of Pop-Tarts.
That's
Well,
exactly why. I have a pact with her. See, I'm a hexblade.
Let us not condemn this young man out of hand. Shemeshka had allies and was patron of many of the people trapped in this room. However, I will say this. You're going to have much to do to prove yourself to me, little one.
Watch this. He does a breakdancing move.
He fails.
Really, he trips and falls.
Yeah,
He fails.
He tries to do a breakdancing
Roll,
move, and he
roll
just ends
athletics check.
up... Roll... roll... no, this would be an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics check for the breakdancing.
Performance.
Yeah, it's an
11.
average.
Wait, that
Yeah.
was Kava. That was Kava.
Oh, yeah, roll the correct one, please. We don't need Kava anymore.
What's the name of that spell?
Oh, I kill it!
He...
He
So, you would be impressed with your breakdancing, as would anyone from 1984. However, the rest of you are kind of off-put by this wild flailing of legs and arms.
What is the name of this ritual? What do you call this ritual?
Are you having a stroke, lad?
Pop and lock.
Someone give him some water. Perhaps he's dehydrated.
All right. I see. Once we're in battle, you'll see that I have a lot to offer to the table.
Okay.
Okay then.
You could also tell that his
Maybe we should go on
robes don't
alone.
really fit him.
Dresden leans over to this new. What was the name? Sorry, Daniel. What was the name?
Arctis. You can call me
Arctis.
Arctis.
He leans over to Arctis, just goes, "How do we get Kava back?"
I don't think we can without the gem. He came out without a gem. I don't think we can change him back.
I guess we gotta keep him, but
Hold on, let me try to polymorph him.
Hey, no.
Alright,
The
Hannah,
hair.
roll a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, roll a wisdom. Roll a wisdom save.
Oh my god.
Yeah, 25. I'm pretty
Bro,
sure.
it's wild.
Wow.
Okay,
That's impressive.
Arcus holds his hand out, and the eyes on his dragon staff glow like a bright green. And he concentrates for a second, and he opens his eyes, and he goes, "Nope, nothing. Can't do anything."
Mark
or
Sigurd
stuff
just stands there, sniffles his nose, and just like coughs a little bit.
Dar's gonna walk up and give him the same assessing stare, and he's going to, after a time, conclude and say to Mark, "You're not the scrawniest mage I've ever met, but for your sake, I hope you're worth something."
Me too.
He rolled
You look like Chet Weston's dad.
against my 19. I wish I polymorphed you. That would have been so funny.
Yeah.
But actually, I think Dar, knowing because of who he is now, is actually silently, slightly impressed by the fact that you tried something, but Mark resisted it. So there's some power there, at least.
You did watch as like
It's a tough role to make, honestly.
There is a so with polymorph, it's VSM, right? It's all three.
Was it? Let me check. Yeah,
You
it
need
is.
like a chrysalis and some other shit, but it's VSM basically. So you basically watched Arctis cast a massive spell, and and Mark just like picking his nose in response, like that. he was able to shrug off the Dragon Lord fairly easily in this instance.
Yeah, that's why I say Dar.
It's his true form. I can't. Something about the Shemeshka must still be a powerful patron, because I cannot touch this lad.
Look, Kava and Lyra are still here. I made them. I created them. So, have a little faith, okay? Kava was powerful, and so am I.
If you say so, buddy.
Well, what's our next move, gang?
Kill Shemeshka
I
and
feel
go
remiss leaving without Lucy. I know she has a bone to pick with Shemeshka just as we do.
I'm sure she's
Shemeshka-
working her own designs in the shadows. Was more her style.
She may not even be in the shadows. She has access to the different planes, to the different portals. She might be in any reality. She might be in any of our realities. She could be anywhere. But she's probably going to bide her time. She's going to be... she's been displaced. This room is no longer her place of power. We need to dismantle this room. If we decide to take every gem off this wall and restore all the souls inside, we should do that. If not, they can stay here, but whatever it is, we need to make sure that she can't use this as her hub of power anymore. After that, we're going to have to find out, perhaps from her employees here, where she would most likely be.
Is there are there any documents around that can help us? Because I still want to know if, because as long as this cage is in her possession, it's dangerous to us as well as everyone else. So I think we either need to destroy it or free everyone and then destroy it. We can't let Shemeshka keep this cage and hold its power over us and over everyone else, or else we'll just run into a repeat situation.
It won't matter when she's dead.
Or we can at least hide it and take it with us on our castle.
Can I attack it? I want to swing at the cage.
You can try. What I want you to do, though, first, as you're kind of pondering this, Arctis, is make me an Arcana check, please.
No. Oh. Could I use legend lore?
About the Resplendent Cage specifically?
Yeah, and like ways to like disable
put
it
it
or...
in chat for me, because I think it has a cost to it.
So I can use it once per day with my staff.
Oh, just for free without expending material components?
Yes.
Okay. Then yeah, if you want, yeah, you can do that then. So before Dresden decides to smash this thing, you concentrate on your staff and expand your mind out into the reaches of the universe, searching for the answers to what the Resplendent Cage is and what exactly it would mean to destroy it. And there's not a lot of... This is not a legendary item. This is not a... this is not something that has been found. It was ancient from another world and brought here. Shemeshka designed this to be able to contain her enemies and built it herself at great personal cost. And essentially what it is a way for her to imprison her enemies and store them within these gems. And when I say imprison, I mean specifically the imprisonment spell. All of these gems are dispellable. And the Resplendent Cage can either cast the spell or remove it. However, you know that it is not a... It doesn't have infinite reserves of magic. It does need to recharge at a certain point.
It does?
Yeah. You have used up 9 of the 10 charges that it has for the day.
Oh, jeez.
So you got one more person you can free before it shuts down for 24 hours.
We got everybody, right?
Well, all of us.
All of you. There are still hundreds and hundreds of trapped individuals, some of which may not even be good people. In fact, most of which are not good people. That are still trapped under the imprisonment spell.
So, after Arctus gains this knowledge, he turns to his companions and he says, Shemeshka designed this thing. It only has 10 charges per day, and we've used 9 of them, it looks like, so far. So even if we wanted to free all of these people trapped, which, as we saw, a lot of them are not good people, we would need many days to free them all.
Many of them don't even seem worth saving.
We could go through her dossiers and her files, find which ones are, well, in my opinion, they're all worthy of freedom for the most part. I'm sure not all of them are that evil to deserve forever imprisonment. However, we might be able to find allies in this very room that could help us on our journey and our war against Shemeshka.
And how do we determine who those are?
Well, she wrote it all down, didn't she?
We get to reading.
And I'm gonna pour over her desk and kind of try to vet all of these gems on the wall, these people, to see if there's any one person that seems to have a good heart, who might be an ally to us.
Before you do that, you hear, as if out of thin air, Shemeshka's voice enter the chamber. But as it speaks, it is clear that it is a recorded voice and not herself that is speaking to you. And it says, portal closure imminent in 5 minutes.
Oh.
Alright, we gotta get moving on.
Sounds like we gotta get out of here.
Sounds like we do. Quick! Wait, is it still Dresden?
Yeah, they're all Dresden.
Dresden, smash that thing!
With pleasure.
We can't let her keep it, at least in a functional state, until we've dealt with her. She can always rebuild it, but we can always make it arduous for her to rebuild it. Smash away.
I'm gonna swing at it.
Sure. It's easy enough to break. It's mosaic tiles. Ceramic is not hard for you to destroy. With that smashed, the voice returns. Portal closure imminent in 3 minutes. Please exit the room.
I'm gonna grab Dar by the shoulder and like pull him along with me toward the door.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm running.
Out the door?
Yep.
Yep.
Here, hold tight.
Yeah.
I will move all of you and just do this. And there. And there. And
Mika.
Like Scoob. Let's get out of here. Let's make like a sandwich and run.
We better scram. All right. All right. So as you guys all kind of jog toward the portal and enter it, you feel the familiar tug on your stomach as you are transported back into the lobby of the back rooms here at the Fortune's Wheel Casino, and you watch as the portal behind you begins to flicker and grow fuzzy. The image on the other side, what once was the image of the lobby of the room on the other side, is now just a solid yellow light as the portal closes.
Does anyone remember where all of these go?
Not
Do a
for
bunch of
me.
games that are of no use to us now, it seems.
For reference, each of these 3 are games, and this one
Oh,
is
yeah.
the exit back into the normal casino.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we might have a fight on our hands if we enter that casino.
Just be casual.
Aye, until they give us a fight, let's not give one to them.
Well, going to the games isn't going to help us. Back to the casino, we might find someone who can tell us where Shemeshka might be.
Let's go, scrawny one.
I'm coming. God.
It is at this point that we will just go back to the poster up here.
Can I borrow your chapstick?
Does anybody have a Claritin?
What are you going to do in the Outlands today, Napoleon?
I don't know.
Wouldn't you fat
I don't know. Kill some monsters, I guess.
Whatever I want. God.
Whatever I want. God. All right. So as you guys exit through the portal back into the main casino proper, a different intercom voice on repeat is blaring throughout the casino, and it says, "Attention, all guests. The Fortune's Wheel Casino is now closed. Please exit through the nearest portal or doorway back into Sigil or your plane of existence. I repeat, the Fortune's Wheel is now closed." And it just keeps going on loop over and over and over again.
Please make your final bets and bring your final purchases
Yeah.
to the registers.
Yeah, if you have any razor leaves remaining, please cash them out at a later date.
Do we have any platinum razor leaves with us?
I don't know, dude. That'd be up to you guys to search your sheets.
I don't think I've got any.
Dump all the rest of it into Fortune's Wheel and see what we get.
I have an Outlands portal key. I have a map of the Outlands. I have a map of Sigil.
You have whatever razor leaves you won from the game before you entered Shemeshka's chamber.
Kelso just said Lucy had like 8 of them.
Yeah, well, Lucy ain't here.
Yeah, I know.
So, regardless of that, the Fortune's Wheel Casino, basically, as you're like walking back through the hallway and back out through that secret door that you entered, you see the throngs of people beginning to leave their seats, and for those that didn't want to leave, being carried out by the cockroach-like
Right.
Yugolavs that served as Shemeshka's guards. people being pried away from the bar, from the different gambling tables, and ushered toward the exit. You see all of the exchange cages where the imps worked to exchange various forms of currency for razor leaves have all been shuttered and locked, and basically everything is shutting down.
All right, I'm making my way toward the exit.
Yeah, she's not in
Making our
here,
way out.
so we have to leave. Back into Sigil.
Sure. As you exit the front doors of the now closed Fortune's Wheel, out onto the bustling streets of Sigil once more, you have your purpose. You have the knowledge of where to find the last Great Modron March, and potentially the knowledge of how to foil Shemeska's newest and greatest plan.
Remind me where those are.
Yeah,
So-
do we have this knowledge?
In the dossiers, which I'm assuming one of you took them because why not?
Okay.
In the
I grabbed them
dossiers, the research that Shemeska has been doing and the knowledge that she has gained is that the last Great Modron March, in their marching across the plains, found themselves in the realm of the Beholder God.
That's right.
Gazemnid, the Beholder God. And being trapped there in this plane of essentially like pure chaos and paranoia, the hope is that she can leverage the altered minds of the Great Modron March to return them back to Mechanus and misalign the mechanics of that plane to benefit herself and cause chaos throughout the multiverse. That was the plan, essentially. And you guys kept getting in the way of that, but she still potentially has the means by which to do this. You also know, those of you who are arcane inclined would have come across this knowledge at some point in trying to find a way to open an extraplanar portal to even get to Shemeska in the first place in the Fortune's Wheel. Knowledge about the planes, certain planes of existence would have been available to you, and just in general, you're looking for. You need to look for and find a way to enter Gazemnid's realm in order to free the captured Modrons that are trapped there and foil Shemeska's plan. Or else it could spell disaster for every world and every single facet of existence throughout time and space.
Okay.
So we still need to find out how to get to this realm.
Yeah.
What's it?
Gazemnid. I'll spell it for you.
The Gazended realm? The realm of Gazended?
That's the place you're looking for.
Gazemnid.
Gazended. This adventure has Gazended.
Not yet, it hasn't.
So, are we going back to our walking castle?
You certainly can.
Our other fragmented selves were sent on a wild goose chase. The hunt for... What's his name? The hunt for Rome was false. Now that we've all been restored to our true selves, the real hunt begins.
That it does, you beefy boy.
You're the beefy boy.
Well, look at him. He's ripped.
That art wasn't true.
No, he's not that ripped.
All right, so I'm assuming you're all returning to the castle, yes?
Yeah, why not?
Exiting through the portal with your lapis key, you re-enter the castle, and when you do, when you all come walking in, looking very different from when you left, you see Rome sitting on what appears to be a very large burlap sack, and twirling a very ornate-looking dagger with a pale green blade, and in one hand, and holding a book in the other. And as you enter, he looks up in surprise and says, "Oh God, who are you? Hey, this isn't my castle. Don't take anything, and don't kill me, please."
There you are, you one-eyed bastard. I died for you, you know.
I don't know who you are. And he's like
yes,
drops his
you
book,
do.
and he's holding the dagger in two hands now, like out in front of him.
Yeah, he's clearly threatened by you.
You know who I am.
Does he?
Give it a thought. Take a second. Who else do you know with
Okay.
red hair?
He at least rolled decently on his insight check. He kind of like, his eye kind of like squints, the one eye, and then like looks over all of you and says, "Oh, you're them, aren't you?
In the flesh.
Great. Well, did you find what you're looking for?"
We did, but we'll still probably need your help. To save your Modron buddies like this. They're in big trouble.
Yeah, actually, I was doing some research on that while you guys were kind of gone, and I found some cool stuff and also some stuff to share with you. First of all, this is all yours, and he picks up like the hefty burlap sack and drops it on the table in front of you, and you hear the clinking of coin inside. And he flips the dagger around and puts the handle out toward. I guess he would hand it to Arcus, because Arcus is the one talking to him right now.
Arctis or
Arctis.
Arcus?
Arctis.
Arctis. Okay.
I have to remember the names now.
He takes the dagger and he kind of examines it. What is that?
Oh, just something I found in my travels outside of the castle, attempting to find the location of my brethren.
Does it have any kind of? Can I examine it? Does it have any?
Mighty saucy.
Do you have identify?
I don't.
Do you have identify?
Does anybody have identify?
Does it
Does
have,
anybody
like,
have? Can anybody identify them?
Or
It looks very well made and probably magical.
Alright,
The dagger?
could I use Arcana or something to just guess?
No, I mean that's what identifies for. You could go get it identified if you go back to Sigil. I mean, you have the time, presumably. Unless I don't know. Does Mark have identify?
Where did you find it?
No, he doesn't have identify.
Unfortunate. Well, I did some digging, though I didn't want to go and meet Shemeska in face to face. I did want to.
I didn't want to meet her in the face either.
I didn't want to meet her face in my face.
I didn't want her face in my face.
I did do a little bit of sleuthing along with what's her face? Who's the kid
What's her
upstairs?
face?
I don't remember.
You had another
Anyway.
face.
Zathir. I did some sleuthing with Zathir over here, and I managed to track down one of Shemeshka's associates who is off on break, and shake him down for quite a bit of coin and some information.
Really?
Yes. I'm scared of Shemeshka. I'm not so scared of her little cockroach friends. Especially not with our badass little lady upstairs. So, here's some stuff for you. So I of course, as you know, was part of the last Great Modron March at some point before I became lost in the Outlands.
Yeah, 260 years ago.
And I figured that with them being lost, they were probably not on the Outlands anymore. So I started doing a little bit of research, and I found that well, they're probably on another plane of existence altogether. Doing some digging and shaking down a couple of individuals for information. He kind of like blows on his like fingertips and like rubs them on his metal
He's
line.
very, very proud of himself.
Yeah. I discovered that they must be in the realm of Gazemnid, the beholder god. Of deception, gases, and obscurement. Hence why no one's been able to find them yet. Shemeshka apparently discovered them in a place called Tyrant's Spiral, which is Gazemnid's realm, or at least part of it. And she is exposing them all to fiendish influences, convincing them that the Outlands are being overrun by evil beings. And it's kind of fucking with their processors a little bit. Their belief is skewing the underpinnings of the Outlands and the planes beyond and creating multiversal anomalies, which is what I'm assuming has been affecting all of you up until this point. Shemeshka, of course, wants to leverage this, release them back to Mechanus, and they can skew the workings of, well, the entire multiverse. So, I guess the next step would be to foil that plan?
Yes,
The best way
that
to
would
do
be
that,
the next step.
The best way to do that, of course, would be to go to Gazemnid's realm and find the leader of the march and rescue him. Where he goes, the rest of the Modrons will follow.
Ah, okay. And if they follow, then they can't be manipulated by Shemeshka anymore.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
Now we just need to know how to get there.
How do we get there?
Well, there is the location of a portal that I do know of that could potentially lead to Gazemnid's realm. Anything's possible, of course. Or you can try to gain more, powerful magical help. Somewhere in Sigil, I'm sure that there are people willing to open gates for you, provide that service.
You don't know how to get there? There's no portal as far as you know?
Well, he's kind of a shifty god, and his portals are equally as such, if not more, so... No, it's not really a reliable way, but it's a possibility.
Well, I don't know where to go. Do any of you know where to go to find the portal to this realm?
Well,
How do you know?
the potential one that I know of is through the Caverns of Thought, near the gate town of Zaus.
Well, any objections?
Sounds like that's our path.
Whatever.
I mean, we could, well, I don't know. I don't know how keen any of those mages would be about opening a portal to an unstable beholder god. So, yeah, we'd probably have to get in there through the cave.
I mean, you could always bribe them with the oodles of cash I brought back for you. Says, patting the burlap sack.
How much do you have in there?
Mark pulls out his Batman wallet.
With a chain.
Rome looks at you and says, "It's exactly 15,000 gold pieces, and one gemstone that's valued at 15,013 gold pieces exactly. Plus that dagger of venom, should you decide to hawk that at the market."
What did you call it?
A dagger of venom.
Thanks, already have one.
I'll hold on to it.
Well done, little Rome. You've been very industrious in our absence.
Thank you. And he takes
We
several
like
bows.
to do things the hard way.
I think we're going to take your advice. Are we taking his advice?
What, to, go bribe someone?
Well, he was saying...
Sounds like we're going to Zaus. And
yeah, that's what I was saying.
And then maybe some markets before that to spend all this money.
You have
Yeah,
30,013 gold pieces.
Yeah, let's
damn.
get as much potions.
We're gonna
as we can.
split the money or keep it.
We can also,
keep it as-
shop for extra expensive magic items with all that.
I mean, we already have a lot of magic items. We could use it to inscribe one of the powerful.
For one, would maybe like to peruse some magic items just to see if they have any like robes that give me better AC. But that's just me.
Guess what my AC is?
we could split the money, or we can decide to spend the money where it's best spent for each of us. I don't care one way or the other.
Got 30,000 gold.
Each of you would get
Why don't we split the money?
what was it? We get exactly 7,503 gold each if you split it equally.
Even with Lucy.
Including Lucy later, or no?
No, including you four.
Okay.
For
Lucy doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, Lucy can figure the other shit out on her own.
Hello, Lucy has arrived.
I think no. We should probably keep some in an account for Lucy with Rome. Then Rome can give her share.
Lucy's here.
You are here.
The last
What?
10.
Do you
No,
want to
it-
show up in the
at-
last 10 minutes of the game?
At 5 minutes to 4, you show up.
Wait,
No, we
wait.
know you're not
We can
feeling
end
well.
on that.
Yeah, I mean, this would be the way to do it. We can decide what to do with the money in the next session if you want. But I'm for splitting it evenly for now, but then, of course,
Let's
money
just
is the
decide
least of
that
my
Lucy's
concerns,
good.
so if anybody needs some of the gold, I don't care. You want to keep it where it is, and we'll decide what to do with the money next time?
Yeah, let's
I
do
just-
that. 'cause-
I just want a better armor class.
Okay. So
I know, but-
here's what I'm going to do, because we don't have enough time to do all sorts of stuff at once. As you are... let's do this. As you guys are kind of mulling over and deciding what to do with the money and what your next steps ought to be in order, there is a figure that enters the room, and I will allow Calliope to describe herself.
Okay. So Calliope looks pretty much just like Lucy. Except she doesn't appear as crazy, and she's dressed a little more elegantly. Do you want me to say how she knows Chemeshka? Or no?
You're certainly welcome to. Or if
Okay.
you want to save that for the explanation of why you're in this tower for the next session, you certainly can.
Turn it up.
Yeah,
We have 7 minutes, so you got until then to do whatever you want.
So Lucy, can you please stop?
Go ahead.
Lucy was a hand at the Witchlight Carnival, which Chemeshka at one point attended, and Lucy made a mocking song of her and her excessive tales, and it annoyed Chemeshka, bothered her ego because a bunch of people laughed and thought it was very funny. And then began a long life of, or not long, she was pretty young, tormenting visions of her entire circus being like brutally killed, and it started to make Lucy go crazy. And these were visions of the different versions of her life where Chemeshka did kill her circus, which are the would have been the three versions you met, but you guys met the one where Lucy ran and hid. And that was
Right.
what created Lucy Lightly. So this version of Lucy, Calliope, is the bard who leaned into her bardic magic and protected the circus at somewhat cost to her sanity she's very paranoid, but it doesn't come off that way. So this version of Lucy stayed with the circus. She didn't live in the streets. She didn't become a rogue. She's all barred all the way, and so she looks just like Lucy, but she's a little less traumatized, but also kind of more traumatized in a different way. And she's got a really cool flowing cloak with a bunch of butterfly imagery, as goes with the Witchlight Carnival. All hands of the carnival wear butterfly wings. Yeah, she's got this almost intimidating aura of her around her at all times. And she's a kind of in like opera singer garb. But it's my cool armor that looks like anything I want it to be, so it looks like a cool opera singer dress.
Okay.
There you go.
Perfect.
All right.
So as
That's dope.
as your lost companion regains herself and rejoins you all within the walking castle, we will go ahead and stop there for today. We'll pick up again next time we play, with potentially the final session of Planescape here.
Woo! Alright, y'all. Fun.
Nice.
We'll see you soon.
Awesome.
All right, we'll see you guys
Yeah.
later. Bye-bye.
All right.